Is the DJI OSMO Pocket 3 worth it in 2025? Okay, so I have been seeing a ton of threads recently talking about the price increase of the DJI OSMO Pocket 3. I got the creator bundle. I don't remember how much I paid for it. I think I paid about like $600 for the creator combo. Let me look. Hold on. Let me go back in my emails and see. Okay, so at the time when I paid for the DJI creator combo, I paid $737 for it. That was directly from DJI's website. Let's look at it now. I'm seeing $800, $799. Ooh, on DJI's official store, it's $979. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so that's a massive jump. As I was saying, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about the price increase of the Osmo Pocket 3. Obviously, everybody knows what's going on in the world with the tariffs and everything. So I think we all knew that this was coming. This was going to happen. But I figured now would be a perfect time to kind of give my long-term review of the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. What's my opinion on it? What did I think about it? Do I still think it's worth it in 2025, even after the price increase? And it probably will increase more. My opinion might change if it does increase more. But with that being said, let's jump into it. Now, before I get into this review, I do want to preface that when it comes to content creation, I do a lot of different things. I wear a lot of different hats. I obviously create my own content, but I also run a wedding videography business. I do content for some small businesses. I do real estate video and probably a bunch of other stuff that I'm not remembering, but I do a lot of things. So when I'm talking about this camera, it's all going to be coming from the point of view, the experience of using it in all of those different settings. Now, right off the bat, when it comes to this camera, I don't have a lot to complain about. It's not going to replace my Sony a7 III. It's not going to replace my ZV-E10, which I'm recording with right now, but it does complement them well as a useful tool. Is it the greatest camera in the world? No. But is it an action camera? Also no. It's very much in a lane of its own. So what made me buy this camera? Honestly, when I bought this camera, it was based off of what I was seeing online. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about it, talking about how quick and easy and useful it is. I also previously, well, I still do, I use the DJI mics. I've had those for a long time and I love those. And I like the idea of having a camera that directly connected to a microphone. In my eyes, it just seemed like a very frictionless tool. And to this day, that's why I love this camera so much. It's frictionless and not at the expense of quality like something like a GoPro. I'm able to pick this up, record fast. I can mount it to things. I have a little magnetic mount that I can mount to anything that's magnetic. I can attach it to my truck and also at the same time get super good quality. I think when it comes to this camera, it just gives my mind a lot more room to think about what I'm doing without thinking about the how. Now let's talk about some of the ways that I've been using this camera. I really originally bought this camera to be a vlog camera, something that's super quick to pick up and film myself, film my day. I did not anticipate on using this in a professional setting at all, and I ended up being pretty surprised. One of the cool ways I've been using this is as a secondary vertical camera. So I recently had a client that wanted me to create a highlight film for their event, but they wanted a landscape version so they could put it on their website. And they also wanted a vertical version. Now I knew going into it that there was probably going to be a lot of footage that I could film landscape and squeeze into a vertical frame, but there's some things that you just can't do that, like with really wide establishing shots. A lot of things are just better off filming in vertical if you want to use it for vertical. So what I ended up doing was I mounted the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to the side of my a7 III. Well, let me grab that real quick. So what I usually do is I have a top handle for my Sony a7 III. I have a top handle just like that. That's how I was filming. And then on the side, I would mount this on the side like that, and I'd be able to view the screen. But the trick was to actually put it in its vertical orientation. So basically this would allow me to go throughout my day filming how I would usually film. And as I'm doing that, I'm also recording on the Osmo Pocket 3. And then when I go into editing, any footage that I wasn't able to squeeze into a vertical frame, I would just switch it out for the Osmo Pocket 3 version. And that's the nice part about this camera too, is that it matches the Sony a7 III pretty easily. If you have, knowledge in color correction and stuff like that, you can make it look pretty nice. And the thing that's really nice about using this as a vertical camera is I don't have to go throughout my day shooting and then constantly doing this to double up on shots. So the other way that I've been using this camera is as a safety angle for weddings. How I usually shoot a wedding, specifically the ceremony, is I'll have a camera on the left side of the venue, the right side of the venue. They're both getting the faces of the bride and the groom. And then I'll have a camera dead center right down the aisle, pretty far away, pointing straight down the aisle. And then I'll just have a camera that's just sitting there, probably a really high up angle on like a light stand or something like that, just to provide a wide safety angle. And that's all it is. It's not necessarily something that you're going to absolutely use in the final product, but it's one of those things that you would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And the quality of this camera is pretty good, and it's good enough to be a safety angle. And the other nice part about it too is because of the fact that it has a DJI mic that wirelessly transmits to this, I can have a backup audio source that I can actually record. Here it is right here. I can actually record on the DJI mic, and I can record to this. So if I want to, go wrap this around a speaker or put it on a table or attach it to a microphone stand to get backup audio in case my main recorder for some reason malfunctions, that's also an option to do with these. This camera in a professional setting is the definition of peace of mind, in my opinion. So one of the more fun things I've been doing with this camera for like my personal work is I've actually been using it with my camera slider. The thing that's really nice about this is it's super skinny, which allows you to get into really tight spaces and get really unique angles. And that's not something that you can really do with like a full-sized setup. I've used this a few times now to sort of try and fake a probe lens shot. If you don't know what a probe lens is, it's basically a super long, very skinny, wide macro lens that allows you to get into really tight spaces. This has been able to replicate that look a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll usually attach this to like an extension arm and then attach that to my camera slider. And as this moves, I can get it like going through things, passing through things. Here's a phone stand here. If I wanted to do a shot of the slider pushing this through, I can do that, and which makes for some really cool footage. It's just been super fun to experiment with this camera. I feel like I'm constantly coming up with new ideas, and this is like the gift that keeps giving. Now, with all that being said, in 2025, is it worth purchasing the Osmo Pocket 3? I'm gonna answer yes. I think it's been a tool that has made creating a lot of fun, and I think any tool that can inspire you to get up and make things is 100% worth it. But I also wanna say that this will not replace the quality of a full-size mirrorless setup. The big difference when it comes to a full-size setup is control. You're able to change the lenses, you're able to get wide shots, close-up shots, you're able to get shallow depth of field and deep depth of field. It's just different, and that's not really what this was made for. But if you look at it as a tool to enhance your workflow, then I think it's totally worth it. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. If this was helpful for anyone that's kind of on the fence of whether or not you should buy it, leave a like, comment down below if you disagree with me, or if you have any thoughts on what I said. I'm open to start a conversation about it. This is all just my own opinion based off of my own experience. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.